Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do yet again another Q&A. I know that's a pretty basic video, everybody does them, but instead of doing like what's my favorite color, what kind of food did I eat last night, although those are fun, I want to do more of like an in-depth, like what do you really want to know about me? What are things that I never really talk about on YouTube that you might want to know? Also, a lot of you guys probably know it is Vlogcember, so if you don't know what that is, at least 4 to 5 times a week, hopefully. I don't want to say anything permanently because then I get my head chopped off, but that is what I'm going to be trying to do. So if I look crazy some days, I look like I was hit by a bus, I haven't slept in 48 hours, that's just going to have to happen. And if my background isn't beautiful as always, that's fine. It's just going to have to happen. But I got so many good questions when I was going through and choosing these ones. It was so hard. So I definitely picked a lot. So I'm going to try to speed through it and not talk my head off, which I probably still will, but we're going to try not to. So the first question is by Fluff. Did you have any plans after high school, like what you thought you wanted to do, college, start a career, etc. before you got pregnant, and have your goals changed since having Alea and Levi? I've read some of that backwards, I don't know why, but I definitely really wanted to be a teacher since I was really young, like 4 or 5. I wanted to be a teacher, and I still would want to be a teacher, but it's just I feel like psychology is more my calling right now. Like I feel like I do really well in that type of career, so that is something that I would love to do in the future. As many of you know, I am in school for that, and yes, I definitely had plans. Another thing that I've always wanted to do that I still talk to Oscar about like once a month is I really want to start, like open up a coffee shop, but like a cool one with like board games and stuff. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of really cool coffee shops, but personally there isn't very many that are like activity, you know, like you can go and pick, I don't know, like a library with a coffee shop, but like a game place with like a coffee shop, you know? At YT Kbaby, what is the thing you most regret? This was a hard question because I feel like you shouldn't regret a lot of things that makes up the person that you are. I know that sounds cheesy, and something that I really do regret is that I was in a relationship for 3.5-ish years, and it's not because of the person that I was with, it's because I was in it in high school and I missed out on a lot because of it. I wish I would have joined like yearbook club and hung out with more girlfriends and stuff, but I was so invested in my relationship that it caused me to cut everybody out and not do anything. So I don't regret the person I was with. Again, it made me a better person. It taught me a lot about what relationships should and shouldn't be like, but I just wish I like either would have figured out it wasn't working sooner or just held off, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like I would have done a lot more. Next question is by Ali Watson. Is Oscar the first one that you lost your virginity with? If not, how old were you when you did? So this is a question I get very often. I don't feel like it's something I should address on the daily vlog channel because I have a lot of family viewers on that channel. There's a bug. Oscar was not the first person I lost my virginity to, and I was not his. We both were in, again, very serious relationships before that. I think I was around 14 or 15 when I lost my virginity. I don't quite remember. I know a lot of people remember detail for detail, but I'm just not one of those people. Next question is by Emma. How did you and Kyla meet? How long have you been friends? So I feel like I've never really explained how we met. I've explained many times that we're best friends and all this stuff, but to the world they don't know how. We met in 7th grade. I moved to LA when 7th grade was about to start, so like summer going into 7th grade. I moved from Sacramento to LA, and with my dad. I didn't know anybody and I was super scared, so I went into class, and my math teacher, Miss Smith, actually I still remember, if you go to Rosemont, she had sticky notes on the desks and she sat everybody, and it said Kyla and Kira, and I remember sitting in Kyla's spot because I thought maybe she spelt my name wrong because I didn't see the Kira right next to it, but it turns out she did seat us next to each other, and Kyla and I, like, I don't know, we sat next to each other in math class, and like right away we became really good friends. Kyla and I also have lived together pretty much in a lot of different situations. Like, this isn't the first time. Obviously I still lived with my dad, and like she still lived with her mom or her grandma, and so we like still lived there, but we spent so much time together that she spent like, there was one month where she spent like an entire month at my house. But yeah, so we've been friends since 7th grade, and now I'm 21. I don't know how long that is, but it's a long time. Next question is by D and a Diddy, I think? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. When did you realize you actually loved Oscar? This is a really good one. I feel like I never had like, I knew Oscar for a long time before we were together, and I didn't think like, oh, I love this guy. Like right off the bat, I didn't even really, like I thought he was nice, like he was handsome, but I never was like, oh, like I'm gonna date him, I'm gonna marry him, I'm gonna have kids with him. Like I never had those thoughts. I was in a relationship by the time that we like had met, kind of. I was talking to this guy already, and then we were friends for a long time, still never really thought. There was times where I really liked like his views and opinions on relationships. Like when I would have problems in mine, I would talk to my best friend, who at the time was his girlfriend, or him, and I liked like his views about relationships and stuff, so I liked that, but I never really like knew we were going to be together. And then about 2 months before we got together, we had been hanging out, doing some things we shouldn't have been, not like sexual things, but just like doing party things. And I remember we had been drinking and we went outside, and I just remember like, I don't know, like I just felt like all of a sudden I loved him. It was so weird because I had such an extreme feeling. It went from like nothing to like, I love you. So I remember we were sitting outside, and then I just told him. So I don't know, I realized as soon as I felt it, I guess, like as soon as I felt it, I said it. Next question is by Stargirl Selena. Were you a teen that liked to party, and was it hard to leave that lifestyle once you found out you were pregnant? I wouldn't say like partying. I didn't really go to a lot of parties. There wasn't really a lot of parties. In my high school there was a lot of like kickbacks and stuff, but now that I'm out of high school they have a lot more like parties. But yeah, I definitely did the whole like, I never was super into like drugs. I did smoke weed a few times, hated it. I did drink pretty often, not like every night or anything, but like on the weekends at like kickbacks. And yeah, you could say I got myself into bad situations. That's kind of why when I had like Levi, I was really ready to be over it, because I was sick of like waking up the next morning thinking like, holy shit, what did I do yesterday? Like, why did I do that? You know what I mean? And so that was never like a scene that I liked to be in necessarily. Like at the time I did, but now that I'm out of it, I'm like, oh my god, thank God. Next question is by Tess Miller. What are your spiritual beliefs? This is a good question. A lot of people ask like my religious, is spiritual the same as religious? I'm gonna take this question in the religious direction because I think that's the question. I don't know. I should have probably looked this up before I looked. But I am, like, I do believe in God, but I don't consider myself like Christian or Mormon or Catholic. Like I'm not really any of those. I feel like I take a little bit from each religion, and that I kind of like create my own religion, if that makes sense. Like I have my own group of beliefs, and I was raised Christian. I went to church at a Christian church. But yeah, I feel like I have my own beliefs about God, and I don't think it really fits into any particular religion, but I do believe in God. Next question is by Britlin Michelle or Michael. I'm so bad at this. How is it having a friend live with you and your spouse? How is Levi growing up as a big brother, and how are you growing emotionally? How is your anxiety improving? So this is a lot.